I'm so excited about these. Aaron,
Okay.
would you rather always have to speak in Dothraki or always have to dress like a Dothraki? This is
Uh,
every day.
yeah, speak because I don't have like the washboard abs and pecs of Jason Momoa. So yeah, speak.
Okay, fair enough. All right, here's the next one. Would you rather perform an investigation with no sense of sight or perform an investigation with no sense of hearing?
I think I would go no sense of hearing. I think. Ooh, that's actually a tough one. I think I would go no sense of hearing, and I'm not even entirely certain that I truly believe that. But
Okay.
I'm mainly thinking, depending on the locations that I'm in, uh, it's really easy to fall down some structurally unsound steps and things of that nature. So could
Ooh.
very well impale yourself on something. So yeah, I'll go with no sense of hearing.
Okay, for your safety, no sense of hearing. Okay,
Yeah.
here's the next one. Would you rather? Ooh, ugh. Okay. Witness a demonic possession or witness someone reanimate as a zombie.
Hmm. Reanimate as a zombie. I feel like again, it depends on the kind of zombie. There's a lot of like if, ands, and buts that I would add to that. But yeah,
Okay.
someone reanimate as a zombie. Because I feel like at that point, you're still dealing with the physical realm, whereas demonic possession is, I mean, that's supernatural. That's beyond what we can. I can't just shoot a demon and be done with it. There's a whole other, level that I would have to be dealing with. Now, there's also the depressing side of like, would it be someone I knew? Oh, that's
Right.
bad. That's sad. That's tragic. Am I in a closed room with them and I don't have a lot of space or anything to take out the brain with or whatever? Is it even going to stop them if I take out the brain, depending on, the level of zombie that we're dealing with? But overall, I'm going witness someone reanimate as a zombie. It seems like something I could control a little bit better. And as previously stated, I think I could survive a Romero movie.
Okay. Good answer. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather? Okay. Only be able to watch
Hmm.
Marvel films or only be able to watch Star Wars films?
Hmm. Oh man. Wow.
Yeah, this one's mean.
Jeez.
This one's really
This one is
mean.
mean.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. God. I'm gonna hurt my young self, but I'm gonna say Marvel films
Mm,
because there's more of them
there's more.
and a lot of like diversity and storylines. So we get outside of one strict kind of storyline. And I hate to say it, but there's a couple not great Star Wars movies, and which there's a couple not great Marvel movies too, but there's just more Marvel movies overall. So even though that kind of hurts my young Star Wars nerd soul, going with Marvel on this one.
Okay. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather? Okay, live in Dracula's castle for a year or live in the Amityville house for a month?
Okay. Well, I feel like I'm giving you a lot of information, backstory here, but I'm doing it. Your people, your viewers can really get inside my weird brain here. First off,
Okay.
I have spent a fair amount of time in Dracula's castle, and it's even somewhat debatable about which castle is actually Dracula's castle because there's a lot of places, sort of like the United States, where they say George Washington slept here. There's
Mm.
places where the famous places, it's like uh, Vlad Tepes was held overnight. Unless we're talking about Count Dracula, or are we talking about the real Dracula,
We're talking about Vlad, the Impaler.
like
Yes?
the Impaler? Oh, okay.
Yes.
I mean, well, he's long dead, But so if we knew it was actually his castle versus the Amityville house, I would actually probably take the Amityville house, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I mean, overall, it would seem like whatever happened during the time of the Lutz family has, whatever happened, you know, a lot of people have different opinions about what happened. Whatever happened, it seems to have subsided entirely after they moved out. And it's a pretty nice neighborhood. I've seen it.
Okay.
It's a good neighborhood, and we're talking about it's right on the water. Pretty nice modern amenities. Um, we've got climate control, so it gets pretty hot during the summer and very bitterly cold during the winter. So we've got nice cozy environment, which the castle probably doesn't have. Lots of draftiness.
Mm.
So yeah, and it's kind of close to other, life, close, not that far from New York City. So yeah, I'm going with that. Now, if the walls were bleeding and demons are popping out around every corner, that might make it a little bit more difficult of a challenge. But right now, yeah, I'll take it right now.
Okay. Location, location, location.
Yes,
That's what I'm getting from
exactly.
it. Okay. All right. We got two more, Aaron. All right. This is the next one.
Oh,
Would you rather have your life narrated by Rod Serling or be able to ride the Tower of Terror every day?
wow. Did you already wait? Did you come up with this on the fly, or you came
No,
up
no.
like?
We
Oh, okay.
research.
So even though, okay, well, the Rod Serling stuff. All right, yeah. Well, I would definitely take I would definitely take Ride the Tower of Terror every day, even though my appendix burst while writing Tower of Terror when I was in my teens. Um, I still love that ride. I still think it's one of my favorite rides, if not my favorite, the favorite ride. I would do that every day because that's also like maybe, assuming you have a fast pass or whatever it's called now, you'd be able to skip the lines, move through. It's a relatively short amount of time, and you could just keep doing it if you wanted to. Now, as much as I love the Twilight Zone, as much as I love Rod Serling, if I had my life narrated by Rod Serling, that I'm in for some effed up stuff. Weird shit's happening in my existence, and it's probably not gonna. If it's especially my life, I'm probably not gonna end up being, ending the story in a good way. I'm gonna end up like, pulling the mask off, and it's some sort of like mutated face, or seeing a monster outside, a gremlin outside my window. So, uh, as much as I love Rod, I'm gonna have to go with Tower of Terror.
Okay. So have you been on I know that the one that they have in California, they rebranded, right? I believe to a Guardians of the Galaxy ride?
Yes, and I have been on it.
How does it compare? I have yet to go.
I think it's a really fun ride. I think that they really kind of capture the fun and the adventure of Guardians of the Galaxy. But man, I still just have such a soft spot for the Hollywood Tower Hotel and the Tower of Terror ride, the attraction. I remember when I was very young riding it the first time, how just kind of creepy it was, but creepy cool, I was so into it, but it was creepy, and it felt like I really was going into this haunted location. So nothing can quite surpass that for me. I really feel that that Disney magic on that ride, that
I
attraction.
hope I hope that they don't convert it, selfishly, but I'm, like, super into, like I guess it's a separate park at Universal Studios, but I miss, Jaws and Back to
Mm.
the Future and even T3, like, I guess we still have E.T., which is, like, the last of the originals, but I feel like they're taking away our childhood nostalgia, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I do love Diagon Alley and but the Wizarding World, but yeah, I missed the Jaws ride. I mean, it was fun. It was a little hokey, but it was fun. I remember the old King Kong ride at Universal
Yes.
Studios, and that was great. I guess that's where the Mummy is right now, and which is also probably like 20 years old. And but yeah, I mean, I guess things evolve and move on. I don't see. I could be wrong. I don't anticipate Disney uh, revamping or reskinning the Hollywood Tower of Terror. attraction. I just don't see, because that is such an icon at this point. But one never knows.
That's true. But I think they are doing a Guardians ride at Epcot, so maybe
A separate
that's
one. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is great because at least Magic Kingdom, Disney World has the ability, more land. They can kind of do different stuff. So we can still get our taste of Guardians, but it'll be an entirely separate thing. I will say this. Do you want to? I don't know if this is actually true or just urban legend or whatever. But you mentioned the ET ride,
Mhm.
and the story, the lore behind the ET ride at Universal Studios. The reason it's still there, granted, it's a very old ride. I still love it, but the lore has it that Steven Spielberg allowed them to use his properties at Universal Studios and help them out, give them the blessing on everything. And one of the stipulations was that whatever you do, you can never take out the ET, the extraterrestrial ride. This has to stay. According to lore, that is what is said about that ride. That the reason it has not been removed, despite the fact that the movie is turning 40 this year, I believe, and maybe not the most well-known movie of Spielberg's repertoire, that it's because he wouldn't let him do it, wouldn't let him take it out.
I did
That's
hear
the
that
lore.
as well. I did hear that as well. Man, but the past couple times I went, it hasn't been open because you could give your pass card, like the card with your name on it. That's always the best, is making up a fake name for ET to say.
Hmm.
I don't think he does that anymore.
Well, you say that, and first off, you are just some sort of horrible person to mess with ET that way. I'm just rethinking your entire character. But for years, yeah, so don't screw with poor ET. But for years from I went on that ride and ET never frickin' said my name. At
Uh,
most, it would be a jumble of names like goodbye, Heather. You couldn't quite get it. But I will say, about 2 years ago, I was on that ride and I was up front, and it was the first time I ever clearly heard ET say my name. Goodbye, Aaron. And I was like, it was a scream moment. I'm like, he's it, finally. So
oh man, I
I
love it.
yeah, so maybe that's why I would never be such a uh you know a miscreant such as yourself as to give ET a fake name, because I've never enjoyed the pleasure of ET saying my name properly.
Well, sorry about it. It was never a good fake name either. Like, it was on brand with like Heather. I'd be like, my name's Stephanie, and I'd be like, that's so fun. I don't know. I should have come up with something more creative, but that's great. All right, Aaron, we have one more. Would you rather? This
Oh,
is the
okay.
final one. Okay, here we go. Would you rather visit the catacombs in France or visit the island of dolls in Mexico? Unless you've already been.
Well, this is kind of it's kind of a cheat because I have visited the catacombs in France, and I actually was able to spend some time pretty much alone down there. I have not visited the island of dolls, so I'm gonna go with the island of. I mean, I would happily go back to catacombs in France, but I'll go to the island of dolls since I haven't been.
Awesome.